Caity, what are you directing? We started talking about it for a little bit.
Yeah, so I directed a couple of episodes of TV, and then this would be my first into feature world. And it's a film I'm really excited about. We're just now starting to write. We actually just flew out to like a remote part of Vancouver Island to meet with the hereditary chief there to get permission and kind of meet with some cultural advisors. And it's the story of this Indigenous girl's, basically the power of her spirit and imagination in the face of unthinkable horrors. There's a lot of residential school background. Do you familiar with those? Do you know what that is?
You are, Lindsay?
I am, yeah. They just like, it's kind of like boarding school in a sense, right?
Yeah, I mean, to say it lightly, but it's their whole purpose. I mean, it was going on for 100 years. The last school in Canada closed in 1996, and it was basically attempted cultural genocide.
Yes.
The whole point of it was to kill the Indian and save the child. They would steal kids from their families and put them in these abusive boarding schools. And the whole point was to erase their culture and like pull them from all their family ties and assimilate them into a white culture. And it went on for a really long time. And the effects of these schools have just been generational trauma. I mean, it went on for so long. And I actually didn't know about it at the time. I was living in Vancouver filming, and I walked by the art gallery, and there was this exhibit, and it was just, hundreds of children's shoes, these little tiny shoes. And so I was like, what is this? And I started talking to the artist, and it was just recently at a school in Kamloops, they had discovered like juvenile bones. So basically a ton of unmarked graves of children outside these schools. And it kind of reinvigorated this movement towards reconciliation and getting the government to address what had happened. And it wasn't just in Canada, the U.S. had schools as well. It's
Australia too.
Yeah.
They call it the stolen generation because as they Christianized and westernized them, I mean, they were literally like completely displaced from all their heritage norms, and of course, most horrifically, their family.
It's unimaginable, like the kind of abuse that went on as well. But that's where the kind of the idea of this story originated, because I was like, how do I not know about this? Like, how am I so oblivious to the fact that this, happened? And so I wanted to kind of tell a story about that. But with the tribe that we've been working with, a big part of it is not going into this like pain of the story. And it's about the resilience, and it's more, to me, it's like really important that it's a universal story of like this one little girl and her whole journey and like the power of her spirit. Something I'm really interested right now is like, I want life-affirming stories. It's like, I don't need anyone else telling me like this, kind of nihilistic postmodern point of view where nothing has any meaning and everything's pointless. And it's like, man, I get it. I get that. I don't need to see stories about that. And, when we're talking about the importance of stories, and it's everything. It's how humans view the world. It's how we understand the world, even as individuals. Everything that we view is through a lens of narrative. We're always telling a story about something. And I think it's time for us to get more stories that are these maps towards finding meaning, because that's what the stories are. It's like, how do you navigate through life? And that's why we watch these stories, is to learn those kind of things. And I want more guides on how do I find meaning in life? How do I make value? And especially now with everything that's happening with AI, I think it's going to be kind of the question of every generation that's going to be facing this AI revolution is like, how do you find meaning and create meaning?